What up, though? Hey, check it out, real quick, man. As y'all know, I lost my brother back in February, uh, and it's not like that. Like me and my brother was was not close. Like that was my brother, like my best friend. You know what I'm saying? Like no matter what, that me and him shared the same womb. You know what I'm saying? Like the closest thing to a father figure that I ever had. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what, no matter because he was in the streets or not. He taught me a lot. He looked out for me all the time. Um, and no matter how, you know what I'm saying, like no matter how street he was or how, you know what I'm saying, gangster he was, he always made sure that he was stressed that he didn't like me being in the streets, but it was too late. He couldn't stop it. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't do nothing about it. But at the same time, bro was like a real good dude. No matter what you think about him, you know what I'm saying? If you know my brother, to know Robert Earl Brooks is to love Robert Earl Brooks. Uh, and it's really unnerving every day that I think about him, this guy here. Every day that I think about him, knowing that I'm not finna see him no more. Um, every day, like it tear me up on the inside. And I don't know if I'm dealing with that the right way. You know what I'm saying? So people might see me and probably don't even know that that's on my mind. You know what I mean? And I don't know if it's over so many years that we've been taught to oppress and suppress our feelings, our real feelings, and not to feel or not be emotional or not to show that type of care or compassion. But it's hard to show that uh, externally. You know what I'm saying? Like, so people probably won't even see unless you know me. You know what I'm saying? Unless you know who I am and you know how I get down or how I operate on the regular, then you wouldn't even really probably know that. You know what I'm saying? That I got that going on. Uh, but I do just want that to be known that, listen, on the inside, when you lose somebody close like that, I don't know whoever maybe not have had to. I mean, I don't want you to have to experience it. Uh, I would pray that you don't for a very long time. But if you have experienced that, then you know, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Because if you think about, like, my brother, if I think about him too long, it tear me up. Like I start crying sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if I'm sharing this because other people probably feel the same way or probably going through some of the same type of issues, but uh, that's not an easy task to get over, or that's not a. I don't think you ever get over that. You know what I'm saying? So don't think that you hurting over a lost loved one is out of the ordinary. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I feel for my mom because we all she had. We all three of us was all we ever had all our life. You know. So now it's, and then what they say, and then there was two. So now it's me and her. You know. Thank God for my niece and my great nephews and stuff like that, and my kids and his kid, my brother's kids. But it's just it's different because that bond, that trio, that, you know what I'm saying, is broke up. And so now it's like how can I support them when I'm still over here messed up? You know what I'm saying? And grieving on the inside behind that. It's it's a horrible thing. Like, but I think about it all the time, and sometimes I think that I'm not taking the correct steps. You know what I'm saying? As far as like grief counseling and stuff like that, I haven't done that. I'm gonna be totally honest. I haven't done it. And as strong as I think that I may be, or as strong as I think that I am, strong as I know I am mentally and emotionally, we all have our weak moments. So don't think that the way I handle stuff and the way you handle stuff gonna be the same. You know what I'm saying? They do have grief counseling out there. You know what I'm saying? So if that's something that you are currently dealing with, I would suggest that you seek out your local therapists and counselors and stuff like that for your kids, or you know what I'm saying, for your siblings or family members or whoever. I would highly suggest that, because everybody ain't strong like that. And some people might turn to substances. Some people might turn to drinking or getting high, and because let's face it, everybody that I know that do smoke weed get high because it helped them forget about stuff, or it helped them handle things better. It make things easier. Let them tell it. Which I don't knock nobody for smoking weed. You know what I'm saying? I definitely don't. You know what I'm saying? I definitely don't. So don't think that. But I'm just saying, it's not for everybody, and that don't help. That don't deal with the issue. It masks it. It's like putting a Band-Aid over a gunshot. It'll cover it up, but the gunshot's still there and the pain gonna be still there. So you got to get some treatment. I just feel like the way that I know how close me and my brother was, sometimes it still ain't real. And that was all the way back in February. But you gotta remember, man, it's a lifetime of love, a lifetime of bond, camaraderie, big brother love. You know what I'm saying? So that's not gonna go nowhere. You feel me? So if you going through something like that, talk about it. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be ashamed. Talk about it. Somebody out there going through it too. You know what I'm saying? They do have groups, grief counseling, grief groups, or just talk to somebody that you can trust, that that you ain't, what you talk to them about ain't gonna get back to you 2 days later because they done went out there and ran their mouth. See, that's the problem with a lot of us. You know what I'm saying? That's why we don't do that, because we don't trust, because people will take your personal information and your personal things that you trusted them with, and they'll go out there and make it somebody else's entertainment because they don't got nothing else better to talk about. And then that breaks that trust cycle, and then that's what make people withhold and hold things in and not want to share. But me as just a real person that's going through something, I know that I'm like the average Joe, the average everyday Joe. So I'm like, it's like the same as you. If I feel this way, I know you feeling this way, and it's cool. It's like with people in addiction, peers, my peers that I know are in heavy addiction of something. I won't pressure them to go get help. I'm not gonna pressure you. I'm gonna let you know that I'm here at your disposal when you're ready, because I don't want to run you off, and I don't want you to feel like you being judged. I want you to feel like you loved, but I don't want you to feel like you being pressured, you being judged, or I'm looking at you any different than I looked at you from day one when I first met you. But I do love you enough to say I can look at you dead in your eye and tell you that I can get you some help, and I can help you get some help. But you got to want that help for yourself. It's okay, man. Listen, man, it's okay to have mental health issues. It's okay to fall victim and be weak to substances and alcohol. It's okay to be done got drawn in, but What's not okay is the denial part. All right. So when you in denial, you're not holding yourself accountable for nothing. And when you're not holding yourself accountable for nothing, that means that you don't see nothing wrong in the behavior that's going on. And that's not cool. That's not healthy. That's not safe. So I'm saying that to say it's perfectly normal not to be normal. You feel me? Like, it's perfectly normal not to be normal. It's okay. In fact, that's what life is about. It's about evolution. It's about changing. It's about constantly trying to do better and improve yourself in your life. You know what I'm saying? So don't feel bad. Don't let what you think somebody else think. Don't let that control your actions, especially the actions to make yourself better, to improve on your life. So you have to care about yourself enough to not care about what nobody else think about you, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? I learned that lesson a long time ago. What other people think don't matter, man. I mean, as much as I love, like, I do get a little bit of recognition from my social media presence and stuff like that. As much as I love the impact that I have now, because I'm on a positive path and I'm walking in my purpose, and I'm gonna continue to walk in my purpose. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care if nobody think, oh, he just want to be in front of the camera because he woo. I don't care about that, because I just talked to one of my guys. Y'all know Pete, the Yacht Life. He got Yacht Life Chronicles. We was on the phone earlier talking, and one of the things that I was telling him was about how in life, like, we from the streets. We literally are from the streets. Like, we grew up together on the east side, and we went to Central Junior High, and I seen his struggle. He seen my struggle. I seen his growth. He see my growth, and the evolution is what I'm looking at. Yeah, he did some time, and he came home and he started making improvements in his life, and he moving forward just the same way I did. I ain't go to prison. I went to jail, and I did the probation and the tri-caps and the programs and all of this, and luckily I didn't get shipped off to prison like Judge Borcher was trying to do for 40 years. But dog was he was doing his thing, and he was respected out here. He's still respected out here. Shout out to Yacht Life Chronicles. But we was talking about how people, they when they speak on you, they start speaking negative, and they start talking as if they know you. And he was like, man, sometimes people want to keep you where you used to be, where they knew you at, where they met you at. That's where they want to keep you, and that's how they want you to stay. And my rebuttal to that was, people don't evolve. People don't understand change. That's because they don't evolve, so they want to keep on looking at you in the same light that they look at themselves in, basically. Because, like, I heard my man Wallow said, like, how these young guys out here shooting each other and killing and all of this gang violence against each other and one another. It's not like I don't understand it. I would never say that I'm not sympathetic and empathetic to what happens in the streets, because I know the way the streets work and the way the guys in the streets operate, because that's just in my blood. That's where we from. It's me maturing as an adult, a black man with children, with kids, that's been mentoring kids since forever, and helping them and trying to get them to get on the right path and do the right thing. I just feel like now, when I look at it, and I feel some type of way as far as, listen, man, y'all need to stop with this gun violence. Y'all need to stop with this this little so-called gang banging and killing each other for what side of town you from or who don't like who. I don't, regardless if y'all got some problems, fight it out. I'm a fighter. I like to fight. If I'm a fight, if I got a problem, I'd rather fight than to use guns. You know what I'm saying? If I know you finna use a gun, I'm gonna tell you won already. I don't got no problem with it. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, we need to get back to that. You know what I'm saying? Get back to warrior mode. You ain't got to be no gangster all the time. But that's neither here nor there. But people want to keep you where they met you. Is my point in that. People want to keep you there. People want rather see you stay in the street state of mind, street mentality. They rather see you still selling drugs and possibly taking penitentiary chances, just because you don't look at yourself as if you worth anything more than going out and picking up a bag of dope and selling it, or picking up a bag of dope and smoking it. Whatever it is you choose to do with the dope, it's a time. It's people out here that's done made enough money to where they shouldn't have to ever touch another drug. I'm just gonna put it on the floor. I know people that's done made a lot of money, and you got certain people that just can't leave the game alone. I will never understand that, but I do understand the lust and the love, because the streets have a way of addicting you, even if you're not using drugs. You feel me? The streets have a way of sucking you in, as well as just like crack or heroin and fentanyl and all of that stuff. It have a way of addicting a person to the point where they can't let the streets alone. Like, I still get triggered to sometimes and be like, man, I can go shoot this move and whoop-de-whoop real quick and make this amount of money. But I don't succumb to those thoughts, because in reality, I have a 15-year-old daughter that depend on me. You know what I'm saying? That's literally my dependent, my child. It's me and her in this house. So if I start making decisions like that, then I'm putting her life in jeopardy. I'm putting her future at risk. I got other people that depend on me. I got people that depend on me just to see me. I got, like, you know what I'm saying? Like my mom, like I would never want to put her in a position to where she done heard I done went out here and did some stupid shit and got shot, or some stupid shit and went to jail. What part of the game is that? I'm not smart enough to make other decisions and to figure out other ways to make money and other avenues to make revenue. There's way too many, man. There's way too many. You know what I'm saying? And I'd rather be broke than to go back out there in them streets and to have to try to restart that hustler's life. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather hustle anything else besides drugs. No robbing, no none of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, man, it's too many ways. So, but I'm gonna tell you, I'd never look down on somebody for the path that they choose. But I'm gonna always tell you though, it's the triple C's. You had a choice. You know what I'm saying? It's choices, chances, and consequences. You always got a chance to make the right choice, but whatever choice you make, you got to be ready to face that consequence, whether it's good or bad. That's just the philosophy. So like when you do make the choice to go out there and pick up a bag, if I made a choice to say, you know what, I can go out here and shake a couple things up and whoop-de-whoop and make the wrong move, and the feds get me for 20 years, I can't complain one iota. I can't complain 1 second of my life while I'm sitting in the feds or while I'm sitting in anybody's prison, because it's my choice that I made. You know what I'm saying? That's why, yeah, snitching would never be an option. People, that's That's another reason why I'm not out there, because I don't trust nobody. Because people out here, they get themselves so acclimated to living this lifestyle after they start making some money, to where once they start making this little amount of money and they start used to this life and they used to the girls, the cars, and the nice little trips and everything like that. You think once they catch a case, they won't hesitate to tell so they can stay free? You know what I'm saying? And you got to think about all of that. They don't people. I keep telling y'all, the streets don't love nobody. The streets do not love nobody. And if you don't see that by now, then you must either be blind, deaf, or dumb. I ain't never seen a love story where the streets won.